Hey there, beloved Ascension pioneers. Welcome to my spiritual guidance for the month of October because I would like to address so many things now. I would like to talk about our new lives, our new life blueprint, so many things revolving around karma, new relationships, how to influence others, how to serve others. Many people are turning to their purpose, towards service. And also at the end, I have a surprise reading for all of us, which comes from the Enchanted Map by Colette Baron Reed, which was something that happened spontaneously today. I was just shuffling cards and I get this guidance to do to conclude this video with a reading with some of the messages that come through these cards and spirit guidance from me. And there are some things that I would also like to address within these topics that people have asked me about. So it's my own guidance, what I'm being guided on my own to say about these things, and also initiative from others, because, we're co-creating this, and I like to receive your suggestions on what you wish to further more know about. What are the things that are still, challenges in your life that maybe others have gone through, and we can assist you in that way, and we can provide further reassurance that it's all going to be fine and that it all is fine. And that's like a new era began, It's a deep feeling, I felt it this week. I felt it since this weekend, and everything is so aligned with the energies. And I recorded a beautiful light activation, which is welcoming our new lives and our new divine blueprint light activation meditation for all of you. So if you're guided, please, I highly recommend watching it. I've received many positive feedback about it already, and I'm looking forward to more feedback. And I'm also excited what is happening with the community of Ascension Pioneers, because I see so many lovely souls not just awakening to what is really happening, but awakening to their true souls, realizing that it's all within. And that's what I'm here to tell you. Every single time you have questions for me, first, to each and every individual who makes contact, I will try to reply in a way that I will try to help them to move more inwardly. And then I'll try to also challenge them in a way to start asking themselves questions and then observe how to receive answers, which is already a topic that I need to add to my list. I made a list because there's a lot of things to talk about. And one of the things also is how to receive guidance, because a lot of the people have a bit of misunderstanding in this topic. So I added this to my note. So a lot of the people are waking up to their soul purpose. And sometimes, I like to, when they have questions for me, I like to challenge them and make them go back to what they initially wrote to me, because between those lines, between those fine lines, there's already an answer that you already gave to yourself. So for instance, if someone is telling me, "Dear Polona, I feel this and that, but this is like this and that." So, it's always in the feeling. So if you already feel that, if you already know that, it's just your personality that in a way it's trying to keep you in the old paradigm, in the old system, in the old ways of thinking, but already your soul knows all the answers. It's in your feeling. So when you say, "I feel that I should do this, but then again, I don't want to do this," it's usually because our human part, our personality, our ego personality doesn't always know what is for our highest good. It thinks it knows what is good for us. So you can just say, "Okay, they're there, personality. I love you. I co-create with you. You are needed here. I need you to be in this world, to exist in this reality." But sometimes, my higher self knows best for me, and I'll try to listen. I'll try to connect with my soul more. So before starting with the topics that I wrote here, maybe I'll address the issue of how to receive guidance first, because a lot of the people, what they do, they go into meditation and they ask themselves questions. Also, I like to initiate them into start doing that more. It's not so much about, then expecting the answers to appear in a certain way and then expect you to receive answers and demand, especially some people even demand answers from their soul. When you make initiative with your soul, when you try to, contact your soul, what you do is you ask for guidance. Not always, "I'm asking for answers on this and that and that," because what's happening is not always you're ready for these answers, because sometimes, there are other things that need to be assessed in your evolutionary state as to how you vibrate now in this body. Sometimes other things are happening first and you won't get those answers. What you should do preferably is ask for guidance, but guidance doesn't always come just in a form of answers. What we do when we go into meditation and we ask a question, sometimes people then expect that the next day they'll receive an answer, or right away they'll receive an answer. But what we do, we start doing things and we don't even know that that is already part of our guidance. Guidance works in a very subtle way. So we need to be very observant to notice this guidance then. You know, sometimes we think it's a certain way, and the moment we think it's going to come a certain way, we limit it into actually reaching us, into actually reaching our awareness. And we have to think more expansively, you know, in a way that is more expanded and less limited. So when you ask yourself questions, you know, don't expect answers, but ask for guidance that is for your highest good, that is most appropriate and most beneficial for your path and well-being and your path of service through your soul right here and now. And you will receive it, but not the way you will expect it, because the personality, like I say, thinks it knows everything, but it doesn't. It's like a little tiny baby that keeps growing and evolving with us. So the more that we merge it with our soul, the more we infuse love, which is our true essence, and the more light we bring to it, and that's information, so it expands as well. Our personalities are expanding as well, and the more they are transmitted and transmuted, pardon me, through the light of the truth, the more they vibrate and resonate also according to the fine-tuning of our soul. So what is happening now, really truly now, if you are not aware of it yet, we are kind of like in the last trimester of the year 2012, which is a year of healing and holding. It's not a year of doomsday or prophecy or many things that people expect, or galactic landings from our brothers and sisters of light, because they're already here. And there's many light beings who have always been here. But it's about the year of healing, holding, returning back to yourself. And I also see that through my projects and through building my own community. So many people are now coming back to their essence. And when they send me videos, which is my new project, they share their stories, and then others get to see it. And it's like a chain reaction. It's like a domino effect, and it's happening in a beautiful way. And what's happening, people are becoming aware of why they're here. They're remembering their whole essence. So remember, when you say, oh, I'm a starseed from the Pleiades, you know, you have not yet fully remembered who you are, because you're just tapping into a certain multidimensional part of you, but you're still not in your wholeness. You're still not in your I am presence. And this is what we came here to do in the Ascension cycle. So this process is happening in cycles. And the first wave of Ascension, which is not what you might imagine, because there's a lot of talking about Ascension and people get it in the wrong perception. You can only feel it. And when you're finally attuned to that spirit, pure spirit guidance, you will know and feel what Ascension is truly about. So it's happening in waves and cycles. And the first cycle is going into that state, reaching that state towards the end of the 2012, which is the first vortex. There's two. One is 12-12-12. One is the 21st of December. And they're directly connected. You have to go deep within you to feel why this is so. Every crossing of the threshold, every walking into a new cycle, because this is all about the cycles. 26,000 year cycle is ending now. And this is all about cycles, and our inner cycles are changing as well. People might call these challenges what we're experiencing, but basically it's just the cycles. A lot of the humanity has been repeating a certain cycle, and now they're willing and moving to step beyond it, to step out of it and see like a brand new life. And this is happening right now. And you have the galactic opportunity, and all the beings are assisting you, but you have to make the choice. And basically what's happening in this last trimester and what is happening now in October, I feel that in the beginning of this last trimester, which is now, there's kind of like, I have this image, and I've been given this information by Spirit, is that right now souls are deciding, you know, and this window of opportunity for this decision to choose the life according to your soul, to be aligned with your soul, is still the life of the old, the ego, the known, with the patterns, with the fears. You are deciding this now. This is happening now. And through that decision, you know, the gateway keeps closing up. And I received this guidance like, I think a year ago, when I was writing about the year 2012 and what's happening and my own being here. And I was told basically that by the end of 2012, things are determined. Things are destined in a way, but then beyond it, things are different. That's why probably a lot of the psychics, even who see certain things, you know, being psychic is a whole other thing that I discussed already, and I don't want to go into it now, but certain people who feel or see, it doesn't matter, when they tune beyond 2012, they can't really see the determined outcomes, the linear time frames, because things are changing. So we're moving that threshold and we're deciding, and the gateway is closing. 2012, the end of it, the December, is basically a portal. But we cannot enter through this portal into our new lives unless we don't have those light codes and light keys within us activated. That means being in a state of vibration that you can actually cross that threshold, that you can actually go through that vortex. So that is why we're doing so much preparation, so much inner work. And all those people who are living more in their heads and spirituality is more in a mental level for them, but they're not living their spirituality, they're not living, breathing love every day and doing conscious holding on themselves, this mental spiritual approach is not really the way for ascension. The way for ascension is all those of you who are stepping in, who are being brave, who are trying to really rediscover back your true essence, who are trying to remember, not just trying, you are succeeding at it. You are not just, you're thriving at it. So you're not struggling. You're just really, really going deeper and deeper within each and every day. And you are focusing more, not just within you, when you need to go within first to really remember who you are and to start bringing that light from your being. But then also what you do, the more you are within, because it's all actually one, the more you're also without. That means the more you go within, the more you are focused on service and the greater whole. Your dreams and visions becomes that of the whole, which is what I always say about me. You merge, you become a part of this I am race, the outer race, the beautiful race of humanity. You see everything as a whole and you wish to serve a whole through your own individuality, of course, but you see everything as a whole, as an integral part of something much greater that is happening and unfolding within the entire universe, because the entire universe is going through this shift. And right now what is happening, because this transition needs to be made and it is decreed to be so, these days are very strong days to release the old karma. And I would like to address the issue of karma here. I don't like to use this word so much because it has been abused like many other things, you know, like the word ascension as well. But I'll use it in a way that I'll try to explain. Karma is not in a way that you have been judged about something, you know, or that you were doing something wrong and now you've accumulated too much negative karma. You know, people say negative, positive karma, but in the truth of one, all is neutral. All is source energy, and that source energy has no plus or minus to it. It becomes dualistic when it spreads into all creation, but in true essence of who we truly are as an I am presence, there is non-duality and there is neutrality. So karma is something that happens naturally when you start incarnating, when you start experiencing creation. It's basically based on life choices and the decision. It's when energy becomes diverse. And diverse. So what karma is, it's your soul basically always tends, always wants to spiral upwards towards its true source nature, towards its original natural state, because it's organic to it. You know, you always wish to reside within that space of your limitless nature, of your timeless nature. So what's happening now is, because of the end of the conclusion of the cycle, 26,000 years, a lot of the souls are choosing to balance this out. So they might say, oh, we're cleansing our karma. Basically, we're returning to wholeness. And when there's wholeness, there is no karma. It's like basically 2 years ago, I think, I had this, before I was falling asleep on my balcony, I kind of had this vision. Because usually I have guidance prior to my awakening or before I fall asleep. I have these sentences or visions or something, just inner knowing that is so deep. And I know that's something meaningful because my whole body is goosebumping and I'm really in awe and appreciation that I get to feel this. So the guidance that I received kind of like a year and a half ago was, in one single moment in time and space, which is basically the conclusion of this cycle, it's like all of the lies, everything that you were experiencing vanishes in one moment and starts brand new and starts recreating back again, anew, brand new. And this was really profound. It cannot be described with words, this feeling that I got. But that is why probably I never resonated with these past life things, because it's more about lives that are simultaneous and the experiences. It's more about the experiences that you gain to further evolve yourself, to further expand all of the creation, because a lot of the people don't even know why souls incarnate. They say, well, why would you incarnate anyway if you don't have to? You can stay at source as well. Yes. It's not all about incarnations. There's different energies that are created within the creation that serve other purposes, not just being physically incarnated on many various planets and star systems. It's about exploring creation. It's about the diversity of creation. It's about source exploring itself. That's why. So it's all about the experience. So instead of karma, I would say experience. So we're choosing to rebalance that experience to once again feel that wholeness. And what is happening now in this last trimester, for the first wave of our pioneers, of our ascending ones, the first wave right now is experiencing the whole blank slate. It's like immense purging. It's like greatest holding that you've ever experienced. It's like zero, delete, blank space, blank leaf of paper. That is why I talk about new life. And that is why I made the activation about anchoring our new life divine blueprint. So these days are the days of the shift. It's like the final trimester is very important for the first wave. A lot of the people won't feel anything because they're not chosen this path now. But know that you might have come across many souls who have chosen a completely different path, and it's okay. But for you, it matters what you've chosen, because it's going to come to a certain space and time in your awareness when you're going to just have to eventually ask yourself, what do I want? What do I choose? What does my soul choose? Get in contact with your soul. That is the most important essence right now. Get in contact with your soul. Don't demand or expect answers, but really trust that you are being guided, that you are, once you make conscious contact, once you make the devotion, your soul knows, and you're willing to do those guided steps, because it's all about then implementing and integrating those steps, about that guidance that we receive. So what is happening? Souls are basically choosing now whether to go through this threshold or now. A lot of them are not choosing this, and we might feel grief, sadness, lost when certain relationships are being, we feel like we lose something, we feel like we're ending something, but sometimes we might feel that sadness because we don't have a higher understanding of what their soul is choosing and why maybe they're not ready on their level of evolution. You would see things from a higher perspective. You would see maybe in some cases they incarnated together with you just to get you to really become more empowered and decisive about your own soul path, not always to share your path. We still think as humans that love is unconditional. You have to be with that person in order to feel love. You have to, they have to cross the threshold together with you. Otherwise, your life doesn't make any sense until now, because you base it on your perceptions until now. But it's time for new perceptions. It's time for grand opening, that we actually see that maybe some souls just came here to serve us, to better remember who we are, because they know we are the ones who are ready and maybe they're not. And everything is okay. It's okay, because you cannot just make a baby go to high school and learn things that they don't want. They want to play. They want to do something else. And I was asked this question today about influencing others. Can we basically influence others by telling them things about what to eat, what to do? Basically, the best influence we can have on anyone is when we are really fully authentic ourselves, because every transformation and every awakening will always come deep from the soul. When it's your time, the soul will awaken. It was that way with me. It was all natural. No one needed to tell me things. It just happened, because everything just happens according to how it's supposed to happen. It comes from the soul. There's a lot of people, for instance, who make a transition into vegan or raw or organic vegan lifestyle, but they're all and they're not healthy, because their soul and their whole body is not yet vibrating to the frequency of the light foods. They require more dense foods, and a lot of the people then maybe realize that, so they return back to their original diet, that which more assists to embody their soul in their own way. But when we really feel what's good for us, we are the ones who are supposed to make the shift, and we have to be authentic. So the most that we truly can influence others is just by being us. You cannot really basically influence anyone. You cannot talk anyone into anything. You cannot force anyone to change. A lot of the people who are in certain relationships are hoping for the person to change, and they say, but they'll change. Oh, for me, my love will change them. Who wasn't like that? Even me in the past, But now we know who we are, and we know that certain people who come in our lives just come there for a reason or a season. But I want to talk about more what the new relationships are based on. Because I was asked a question, that's really falls into the category of new way of living. That means new partnerships, what they're based on, what they look like. And when you choose the path of the soul, that means soul purpose. That means you live your soul life, not any longer the life of fear or the incarnation or false beliefs or being in the matrix, being in the system. You live fully, freely by your soul. You live and embody your soul. So that means that a new partnership is in a way that will always be on a soul basis. So those will be partnerships that will have a straight connection through the heart and through the higher mind, through God's source. And these partnerships will always be about the greater beneficial purpose that will be to serve others and to serve yourself through that relationship for mutual soul growth. Because when a partnership, I've been asked by someone, how do you make a decision to move, for instance, how do you know when a relationship is over, when, you're supposed to leave someone, or how do you know that when it's over? Your soul knows. Sometimes the personality thinks it knows, but it doesn't. But the soul knows, because when someone is not choosing the same path as you, and you will notice that, they won't have an interest in spirituality. They won't have interest in, they won't be vibrationally equal to you. They will eat denser foods. They will be different. They will keep staying in the old, or choosing bad habits that you no longer resonate with, because when you change so much, you're so sensitive. I've been reading today from a Sister of Light Jew that she was explaining the same way. She says, I can no longer go to heavy, dense places like bars. I've decided I can't even go to the movie anymore, because I went to the movies this Friday. I thought I'm going to have fun, and the energy was so dense, I just couldn't take it. And I said to myself, okay, the last time I was there, I received this guidance. I didn't yet fully embody it, and now I will. I just can't. Because you change, and this is your process. A lot of the people are still, being in the confines of conditional love, thinking that if they change, another will. Sometimes that happens, but if it doesn't, know that it's just a natural process, because that soul has not chosen that which you have, what you might have. And know that you cannot change them. You cannot force them. A lot of us has had this feeling that we need to do the best that we can to make others really see what love is all about, that they'll change, that they'll see the light of the truth. Well, you know what happens when we do that? We forget about the most important person in our life, which is us. We forget about our own path. And a lot of us who are volunteers, who came here because we didn't have to, but we came here to show the light of truth to others, those we need to remember, to kind of help them to cross that bridge to the other side, which is all harmonious and beautiful, and the truth of all that is, which is divine love. A lot of us didn't need to be here, and sometimes it's hard for us to be in this body, in the physical density. Sometimes I cry because I feel so dense, but at the same time, my spirit is so strong that I know I can go through anything, that I know I'm here for that reason, and that I've chosen it. So I don't feel victimized. I don't feel like I'm a victim of something or someone who sent me here. I know I sent myself here because I was able to do it. But the moment I knew why I'm here, and the moment I have this beautiful service that I do, and I see results of it, I see people waking up, I see people sharing love, I see people being who they are, I know I'm on the right path. And also about money, you don't need to take care of it. Trust me, from my own experience, you don't need to. It's all taken care of once you decide for your soul. It truly is. So a new way of living really means that it includes new partnerships. I mean, for a lot of the people, this is difficult because they crave partnerships and they might be single. It's okay from a perspective when you really desire a partnership, when you are whole yourself, but you want to exchange that wholeness with someone. But a lot of the people are still coming from a perspective when they feel someone needs to save them or uplift them, or, just show them a fairy tale, which they can do on their own, kind of save them from their life situation and enchant them in a way that, it's like a fairy tale. You can have a fairy tale, but not on that unhealthy grounds when you're still not whole on your own, and you cannot have someone that will fulfill you. But basically, we're human beings, okay? We're here to share. We coexist. The whole process about this shift and awakening is to really go deep within, to know who we are, but then go out into the world and spread this and share this and to co-create and to communicate with one another. So it comes natural to human beings to feel that need to be and to share with someone and to have physical contact and to hug and embrace each other, to just feel and share that love. That's natural to us. But when within the new partnerships, this is changing, because we only wish to do that to bring more harmony to the new communities, to the new service work that we do. Because what we want, is above, so below, and vice versa. We need to remember that when you're fully whole, and when you integrate your spirit, you also want the physical to really match that wholeness. So of course, naturally, a goddess woman wants to be reunited with her god part, in order to have even more balance and equilibrium in the physical form as well. You are whole, you have the spiritual marriage within you, but also you crave it physically. And it is happening in divine timing. And I feel for many of us, this is going to happen next year. And a lot of the partnerships that are going to be based within the new partnerships frame are going to be that way. That's why this is in a way a year of divorce, not partnerships, which is what Lee Harris, a beautiful brother of light, who does amazing work. If you don't yet follow his channel, I recommend it highly. And he said this is a year of divorce, and basically I see this myself. There's relationships that are breaking apart. There's things in our own world and reality that we have kind of created before that are tearing, the grounds are tearing apart. Things are just, that we need to go through. This is a part of the process. You have the separation in order to find wholeness again. And you need to find your truth in regards to what everything you will still placing around everything, what you were still placing your power away, somewhere externally. And like I said, about the partners, how when something is no longer serving you, it means that you're no longer growing together. You're no longer that divine trigger for each other. You're no longer there for the unconditional love and support. Someone is lagging behind and someone is, spiraling upwards. And I was asked if that can, keep us lower, kind of keep us from experiencing our fullest potential. And the answer is yes, it can. Because once you stay in that low vibrational environment and with a person who's in the low vibration, you cannot move forward. Because some people think that they can just wishful think it away. It doesn't happen this way. Because when you consciously wish to co-create with someone and that someone is not where you are, you cannot consciously co-create, you see. And new partnerships are based on co-creating. So therefore, why would you just be with someone who, if you're just willing to have that person to financially support you, and that's all your relationship is based around, or fear, or a lot of the people who have, children and they fear over that. But new paradigm has nothing to do with that. New paradigm has everything to do with soulmates finding each other, your divine equal and counterparts, your vibrational match. It is out there for you, but you have to decide for it. First, you have to release the old karmic ties and the old relationships that do no longer serve you. And like I said, that through feeling that you cannot grow together with them. Because we all grow very well, and it's easy for us to do it on our own when we're connected to our soul. But when we're with someone, if they're not where we are, it's kind of hard, and we can't grow together. It's like two people who are not looking at the same direction. They're looking in a different direction. So if you won't be willing to let this go, sometimes the source of all things kind of makes this change to happen in a way that in that way you're just being divinely protected through divine will. So you will know that it's about us and them, but we're all one. But it's about us and them in a sense that not everyone is choosing this path, and it's okay. Have compassion, forgive yourself, forgive others. These are intense days of forgiving. Forgive everyone in your life. Talk mentally to the people. Imagine yourself, it's how I do it, like a pink bubble of light that what you're doing it through love. It's not just about cutting the cords. It's about really illuminating that which was, all these cords with love and truth. So kind of imagine that person that maybe you had resentments with, or someone let you down or hurt you or said bad things to you. Kind of imagine them in a pink bubble of light, and you are also in that pink bubble of light, and you have a beautiful pink cord, that spiritual connection within divine love between the two of you, or many other people. It doesn't matter, it might be a group. And then imagine how you talk to this person and tell them and explain everything to them. Maybe you're not brave enough to tell them physically, or you don't feel guided to tell them that physically, but tell them on a mental level and send them that through love. And then maybe imagine how I imagined recently, how their bubble is then slowly separating from yours. You still have that still have that string, because we can't sever certain bonds, because spiritual connections are eternal, between us on a soul level. But you can see them as no longer their bubble is in your reality. They choose another. So you can like I did in my light activation, you can wave goodbye and say goodbye through compassion and love. And they will hear you, they will feel it on a soul level, they will feel it. And all else does not matter, because this is personality is just a game in a way. It's just in a way to experience creation in such a way. So what else? I think I covered most of the things I wanted to cover. So I'll get to our short reading for all of us. The cards that I got. First one was from the Enchanted Map, like I said, and there's also a guidebook here. I have many oracle cards, too many, I think. The number of this card is 7, and it's called Into the Unknown. You can see it here. The person is blindfolded. That card tells us all that we're in a period when we're choosing a new life, that this life is unknown to us. We do not know it. We cannot have patterns around it because it's something completely new, and there are new ways of thinking, new ways of being that we need to kind of feel. We cannot think our way through it. We can only feel our way through it. It's like, this person is doing. You see, it's blindfolded and it has hands like this, You can feel your way through it. So sometimes our physical five senses might block our true perception. So maybe when you meditate, when your eyes are closed and when your mind is more silent, you will feel more. So that's when meditation is important. So you close yourself to just the five basic senses that are attuned to the third dimension, because you are a multidimensional being. You have many more senses. And you can tap into these senses by truly feeling your way through life, truly feeling and embracing the new and unexpected things. Sometimes we say, oh, but this is so good, it can't happen to me. Expect the best possible outcome to happen to you, and it will, but trust the divine timing of that flow, okay? Because this card is like, this message is inviting us to really trust. The unknown is always connected to trust. And I have a feeling that the message said, okay, I'll just read it out because it's really good. It says, trust and all will be revealed. And it's true, because the truth always shows itself naturally when we just let it go. The second card was intention, and these cards all fell out. I think I just draw the first one, all others fell out. So this is intention. And this is number 22, which is a master number. We are masters inside, so remember that. This message is about, it's an owl that sits on an egg, and an egg can actually represent something fertile, the birth of something new, so creation, it's how we come. We all come from the egg, from the seed, So these seeds are manifesting. Our powerful intentions are creating our reality, and they are kind of putting us in the right direction. So for all those of you who might doubt that you're not there or you're not on the right path, know that you are, and only through intentions you are getting there. But trust it, okay? And the message says, deliberate, clear intentions have the power to change your world. And all of our objectives will be fulfilled at this time. Inspired intentions are like magic arrows shot into the sky. And it's true. So let's keep shooting only light and love, okay? The next message is a compass. And what this message basically means is, it's like a compass. And we all have a compass. We all have put this kind of like a map. That's why these cards are probably called the map. Before coming here, before incarnated, we have put this map. And there are certain resonances, numbers, astrology, certain things like tools for us to go through this life. So we have to trust that we have all these tools within us, and the divine that we're intrinsically a part of eternally is helping us through these tools. And this compass means that when we are attuned to the energy of spirit, to the guidance of spirit, we're always where we need to be. And especially for a lot of those of you who might not always believe you're where you need to be, attune your guidance to the highest possible guidance of spirit. And always ask to be connected only with the highest energy within the realms of illuminated truth, nothing lower. There's a lot of other guidance that wishes to come true to certain people who are not yet vibrationally high enough to be connected to levels, because like attracts like. And if you're still vibrating in the very low frequency, you'll be in tune with the guidance that is coming from the lower realms, especially the lower astral realms, which is what a lot of the psychic people are tuning into. You can see them through their low vibration. If they're not really heart-centered, if they're really focused just here, and if they just see things, because the language of the divine is not pictures and images. The language of the divine is the language of symbols, sacred symbols, light, color, tone, sound. In the beginning, everything was sound. So the message of the card compass is, as long as you orient your compass to true north, the direction of your higher power, you will never be lost. And that true north is spirit, the guidance of spirit. The next card was Sacred Pool. And I have a feeling that this is trying to tell all of us that, like I said, the sacred pool, we are becoming our own vortex. It's already there within us. Sometimes we still seek external resources and think, oh, I need this support, or I need this and that to really fulfill my divine purpose. But basically, all the support is already within you, and you can do it. We all have what it takes, okay? The message here is the world is a reflection of your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Embody the love you wish to see in the world. You see, when you have love and you work, operate from that love space, you have all the support. You are like the eternal sacred pool of that source energy. You can imagine this as a beautiful golden light that showers you at all times. And it's also asking us to have a look at the mirror. You are, like I always say, it's to live love in action through embodiment, not just speaking mentally about spirituality and spiritual concepts and principles, but becoming these principles, embodying these principles of universal energy, of source of all things. So the last message is this one. It says, follow the leader. I hope you can see it. It says, follow the leader. And this card is about, you can see that beautiful golden path that leads towards this tree, like a tree of wisdom. And this card is telling us that we all have this eternal wisdom, inner wisdom. All of us possess a certain wisdom that we can share, that we have come here to share with others. And that now is that time, because so many people are awakening and are opening up to their gifts. You all have, Ascension Pioneers, something beautiful to share with the world. A lot of the people might say, oh, but people are only making videos. Why should I make them, No one makes videos like I make them. No one makes them like someone else makes them. We're all speaking from our own internal divine guidance, and a lot of us have something to share that is unique. And all of us especially have this. And this says here, every life is a teaching tool for others. Your authenticity and honesty are an example to those around you. And like I said before, don't try to influence others. Influence only yourself. Uplift only yourself. Be yourself, be authentic, and you already give yourself answers. When you express sentences like I feel, that is when you know. That knowing lies in feeling. So it's asking us to lead by example, lead through our own beautiful, radiant soul. And this is what I'm doing. This is what many are doing nowadays. And especially through my initiative with the video, I feel a lot of you, Ascension Pioneers, are stepping into something new, or stepping into a new path of your purpose and something very new. And we are all brave enough and adventurous to live our life according to our dreams and to share it with the world. And if all of the souls right now in this moment in time and space would say, I choose the path of the soul, you know what would happen? This planet would increase its light by, I don't know, it's not indescribable amounts of light. But it's not happening that way. It's happening in stages. I'm just trying to say, try to imagine what would happen if everyone would live their soul purpose. Would we need a system? Would we need a government? Would we need things if everyone is attuned to their source, just like there were in the times of the golden ages prior to this life that we live now? When you are connected to your God source, you have everything. You are always directed, and you don't need to see psychically. You don't need certain things. You don't need always someone there to support you, although it's nice when we're coming from a space of wholeness and sharing with others. But know that once you have that vertical connection with that source, the horizontal connections with everyone else align perfectly as well. Because the source is the source of all things, okay? So anyways, I hope you love this message. It's very long, I know, but there are a lot of things that I needed to discuss in my video. There's a huge shift happening right now, and a lot of these solar flares that are happening, and there's going to keep happening until the end of the year. This is all connected. This is all part of the divine plan, always in synchronicity with the other alignments. And all these alignments, there are certain people who might say, oh, but this is bad. This means this and that in the world. Well, nothing's bad. Source knows how it works through the divine logic in mind. And the more we trust it, the more we actually become a part of it. And everything starts making sense in our lives and in the grander scheme of all things as well. So I hope you like these messages. I hope you found something for yourself. And keep sharing yourself as well, okay? That's what you came here to do. And that's what I'm here to remind you about. Lots of love, beautiful Ascension Pioneers, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.